California is known for its miles of breathtaking coastline, the glitz and glamour of the Hollywood scene, and vineyards that produce some of the best wines in the world. But California is now gaining a new reputation. A severe lack of rainfall and snowpack combined with an increased demand for water has transformed the Golden State into the driest state. As far as California's weather is concerned, there seems to be a general consensus of why precipitation and snowpack have been virtually non-existent.
Bottom line, we've been under the influence of this drought because of this high pressure system that's been tenacious. It just hasn't budged at all. And with that high pressure system in place, the storm track, the jet stream, is riding well to the north up in the Pacific Northwest. And all these storms that track across the Pacific and bring us rain and snow during the winter time, they're just not hitting us. So we're ending high and dry 4 consecutive years now. There is that natural cyclical process. There is a lot of evidence, and some of the leading scientists believe that we are contributing to global climate change, so that may be playing a role as well.
The weather is cyclical, and that we do see in the past other droughts where we've had 2-3 years of drought conditions, and then we get wet again for several years after that. California, especially in the southern part of the state, is very exceptional as far as ups and downs. Everything is extreme. We have extremely wet periods, we have extremely dry periods. Right now we're in that dry period.
Before the drought started 4 years ago, it may have been difficult to imagine a lake reservoir that was so low. And as you can see here at Lake Nacimiento in Paso Robles, Californians have a clear picture of how drastic the drought really is.
Obviously, when you have the governor earlier this year in March standing at a place where normally there is 5 feet of snow and there's only grass on the ground, we are in a drought. We have to look at how to do agriculture differently, and there's some agriculture we should not be doing in California.
The return on investment in terms of water is out of whack. In other words, agriculture uses a whole lot of water, and the return, what they produce by way of GDP, isn't as great, so it doesn't seem to justify that kind of investment of those natural resources.
But for Henry Vega, president and CEO of Coastal Harvesting in Santa Paula, there is a good reason for California's agricultural prominence.
I think that the consumption of agricultural goods is important, if not more important, than worrying about the habitat. The food that we eat all comes from, Mother Earth, and we have to, figure out how we can do that economically.
While weather and political patterns in California continue to repeat themselves, some are hopeful that a practical solution will prevail.
I think the real issue has been a lack of long-term planning. We get lucky when we have wet years. Many times we breathe a sigh of relief and go back to enjoying the water flowing out the tap. And when we have multiple dry years, that should not be a surprise. All of a sudden it's viewed as an emergency. It shouldn't be a surprise. And I do think that we're smart enough as a people to plan ahead so that we don't have hardship in drought years.
Regardless of the arguments surrounding the cause of this drought, the real dilemma is what the state of California plans to do about it. For Cougar News, I'm Melissa Dickert.